Hi, my name is Tanya Chopra, working as an international marketing assistant at Brunel University, London. Thank you so much for joining this session with Dr. John, who will be talking about the course Economics and Finance at Brunel University. Thank you so much for joining. Would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm John Hunter. I'm the Associate Head of the Department of Economics and Finance at Brunel, London University. And I've got quite a lot of experience in relation to teaching finance. I'm an economist, but in LinkedIn with that, I teach modeling to our finance investment students at the master's level, and I also teach our undergraduates a module called financial engineering.
Great. So, to begin with, why should I study at Brunel University, London?
Well, if you're coming to Brunel, you will find out that we have been training people in finance since the early 90s, and this is on a global basis. And if you go in to look for our alumni, you'll find lots and lots of people across the world who are educated finance people from Brunel. We also have some excellent resources. We have information which comes from Bloomberg, so you can get further training related to Bloomberg. There's also Accenture, and there's also the Financial Times data sets, which are in something called Refinitiv, and that used to be Reuters and Thomson. And also, we have all sorts of additional things going on, which include talks from professionals coming in, and things of that variety. So it's a good thing to do. These are good things to do.
Absolutely. So, does this course offer any specific accreditations?
So we have accreditations for the master's programs related to the Chartered Institute of Management Accountants, and also for the ACCA, and that's the Chartered Accounting. Uh, they're in that sort of area. So both forms of accountancy are benefited from doing the master's programs. Now that's business finance, and that is finance and accounting. We do things slightly differently related to the finance investment and banking finance course, and there we provide further training for the Chartered Financial Analysts program. Now, they are an independent body, so they don't offer exemptions. So essentially, we provide the training which will allow you to go on and take their programs. 70% of what we do is linked in with the course, and we fill in a lot of the other stuff. So, for example, things like ethics. And of course, if you're doing the finance programs, then you're not doing accounting. So we add in the accounting stuff.
Wonderful. Considering the number of courses that Brunel University provides, what do you think? Why should I study economics and finance at Brunel University?
Well, it's horses for courses to some extent. So it depends in some senses what you really want to do. So, for example, if you want to go and work for the finance department of a corporation, then you study business finance. If you want to work in financial accounting, then you study finance and accounting. And that's basically why people are doing ACCA. If you're interested in working in a bank or a financial institution or a regulatory body, then that's where banking and finance fits in. And if you're looking at funds management, then that's where we come to finance and investment. So those are the sorts of things that you would be wanting to do.
So, number of options to choose from.
Yes,
Yes.
lots of things to choose from.
Considering the placement opportunities, does this course have any placement opportunities?
So our September entry master's programs, they offer placement opportunities. In fact, all Brunel programs typically offer placement opportunities. This runs on in two different ways. So there is a short placement, and that's done in the summer, and then after the placement you do a dissertation. Or there is a long placement, which roughly runs July to June, and you take out a whole year for doing that. But of course, typically what we like is paid placements. So those are the types of things that we're trying to get for our students. But placement is very, very much a Brunel thing.
Great. And how will this course help me choose my career?
Well, the types of things that you're going to do will relate to the particular programs that you're engaged in. So I mentioned previously that basically the different programs like business finance are directing you into particular parts of finance and accounting and banking to work in. So again, the business finance, we move into companies, and that's the type of place where you're going to work if you're doing business finance. That's why you've got modules like business economics and things of that sort, quantitative methods, which help you in that direction. Then we have banking and finance, and the banking and finance is for people who are interested in the banking industry, but it also includes some stuff related to regulation. So we look at macroprudential, and we look at banking and the risks that exist with large banks and things like that. All the types of stuff which were important in terms of the financial markets crisis in 2008. And of course, we know from what's been happening recently that they haven't gone away. COVID produced a bit of a shock to the system, and of course, Ukraine and other sorts of conflicts will do the same thing.
Considering the opportunities that this course provides, are there any links that the university provides?
Well, if you're talking about links with industry, two of our programs, that is Business Finance, has a specialist module called the Business Finance Workshop, and Banking and Finance has a Banking and Finance Workshop. And for these two programs, these are particular features, and you will do them as compulsory modules. But of course, we don't want the other programs to miss out. So they have the opportunity as options to do these two things. Now, you might wonder, what on earth are these workshops? So we have practitioners coming in from the outside, from a whole range of backgrounds. So they're people who work for corporations, they're people who work for large financial institutions, European Central Bank, and things like that. We also have one of our advisory board, it's the chair of the advisory board, who was previously the lead of the Chartered Institute of Accountants of England and Wales, and he's actually the chair of our advisory board. And he gives very freely of his time. He talks to undergraduates occasionally, but he also is involved in the workshops. So the workshops are a key aspect of getting to see a practitioner doing a piece of work related to that. In addition, we have our Finance and Accounting Uncovered events and also Economics Uncovered events. These involve corporations and companies, banks, finance institutions coming in. And we also have the Government Economics Service, and they come and they basically talk about how you get into government to act as an economist or a finance person. And that is actually one of our former undergraduates who comes in and talks to the students. There's quite a lot of other things similar to that. So we have lots and lots of events that we try wherever possible to bring people in. So CIMA comes in, and the people from CIMA, the accreditation body, they help students with psychometric testing. We have our professional placement office. They actually help us arrange some of these things, and they provide the link with industry. Also, they have lots of contacts for students who are going to be going on placement. But these are proper jobs, the placement jobs. So you do have to prepare, you do have to do your testing, you do have to do interview technique and things like that, and then you put in for a real job.
Finally, what does a typical week looks like in a student's life pursuing this course?
Well, I'm trying to give a little bit of a snapshot, but and of course I wasn't a student at Brunel, but I can imagine as a student getting up in the morning, leaping out of bed, walking across campus, the tree-lined campus, going to the bottom of our lecture center, picking up a coffee, then going into the lecture center, which is famous because the film A Clockwork Orange was actually set in some of the lecture rooms. And then I'd be going in the autumn term, and I'd be taking modules in business economics, quantitative methods, international finance. And I can just see myself doing those sorts of things. So that's what you'll be doing, but quite literally 5 minutes from the accommodation blocks, walking through a tree-lined campus, you basically get to our lecture blocks. And then if you've finished your lecture, you can walk out of the lecture room, you can go a few yards to the right, you cross the little stream, and then if you want to go and do your gym type stuff, or if you want to go and do some netball or something of that variety, then you're right next to some of our sports facilities. You turn in the other direction, of course, you get to the library. You can go to our data resources room. You can go and pick up some data from Bloomberg or Refinitiv and do your coursework for risk management in the spring term or quantitative methods in the autumn term. And, there's lots of things to do. And I think if you're walking back from the lecture, then in the evening you walk past the pond, and in the pond you might see our herons sitting looking for fish, or you might, in the spring term and the Easter, you might see the mummy duck looking after her ducklings as they scatter across the pond. And that's, it's really a semi-rural location. The university, the campus is semi-rural. So we have a nice place to work and to study.
This is quite interesting. Thank you so much, Dr. John, for taking out time and giving us such valuable information. In case you have any questions, feel free to contact us on inquiries@brunel.ac.uk.